So let's talk Rolex. It's a story of the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, okay? And I'll tell you why and how and what's going on and the Shakespearean tragedy that's playing out before our eyes and in our civilization as it associates itself with these beautiful presidentials in the rose gold, the 40. It's what they're making now, a chocolate face. It's so elegant, you know, for if you're in a suit and you're this and you got that chocolate face, that's dope. This diamond dial 41 discontinued piece. Someone wants this iced out. It's going to be covered in diamonds. Someone ordered it. You don't think that's a good idea? Is that what I heard you just say? Well, if you're a collector and you want to hold it down and you want to flip it and you're in that stage of life, sure. But if you are rich and you have that capital and you want to say, fuck it, I'm going to ice out this watch, I'm going to put a monster bezel, I'm going to ice out the band, you could do that correctly, properly, and that's going to be amazing. So how much is this one nowadays? It's going up too fast. It's $41,000, this timepiece. It used to be 27, 22, not anymore. The gold price and the Fed drove up the price. So how does the Federal Reserve drive up the price? Do you want to know how? And why are the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer? And the price of this went from $27,000 and $25,000 to $41,000. We used to sell it iced out $41,000. Now, plain Jane is $41,000. And some places, some pockets that you could get it for cheaper. But those pockets are fast disappearing, and that's why we're hesitating on selling it for cheaper. Sure, you could sell it for cheaper somewhere at 37 or whatever it is, but back to the Fed. So the Federal Reserve writes a check for $1 trillion from a bank account that has absolutely nothing in it, and it clears. And that means that money goes into circulation, people get it in its hands, and this economy is a sick economy. The capital accumulates at the top very quickly. And those people that get all of this new capital, for instance, you know, the pandemic, right now we're in September 2020. During the pandemic, because of the federal printing, Jeff Bezos made, you know, an extra $100 billion or something like that. Why? People get the stimulus money, they go on Amazon.com, they buy a bunch of bullshit, they get the stuff, and, you know, Jeff gets that printed capital. And then he does what he wants to do. And there's a lot of smaller players along the way, whether they're making music or they're modeling or whoever it is. Certain people get a handle on that money, whether even if they're selling drugs, right? They could have did well. And that wealth accumulates and then it transfers over, and even I get some of it, of course, because people make a purchase, but that wealth transfers over, and what happens is the rich people, they offload their cash because they want to go into appreciating assets. And you know, Rolex is not going to make $1 trillion worth of new Rolex watches just because the Fed printed the money. So people accumulate, they take it, they get it, they dump it, and they put it into gold or they put it into some stocks. If the stocks collapse, this, that, they like the appreciating assets very, very much, and they buy platinum, glacier blue dial, presidentials. They really, really do. And you know, maybe the prices reached an all-time high and they pause, but it's painful because that, not that everybody needs a Rolex, but that makes these Rolex watches just that much more unattainable, because the minimum wage and things like that did not go up relative to what it is. And obviously the minimum wage is not what we're talking about when we're talking about solid gold presidentials, but it's all in play. It's not just luxury watches. If you're watching this and you don't know shit about Rolexes and you don't care, it's not just some fucking timepiece and this and that. There's a whole world. This is the Diamond District. There's a whole economic world that's happening out here, and the more you know about it, the better off you are. I'm going to be offloading my cash into timepieces. I believe that the price is going to go up significantly over the course of a year. There's not a point in history where $3 trillion has been printed and dumped into the economy. And with Trump or whoever it's going to be, more money is going to need to be printed. And as that money's printed, the rich are going to get richer. They're going to offload their cash into other assets. It's going to cause some serious problems. And relative to dollars, you could buy a Rollie and you could do better than a lot of other things. So prices, prices, and more prices. The 30 millimeter. If you're a beautiful woman and you deserve to be treated, even if you're not beautiful or whatever it is, or you're very interesting and smart, okay, you need one of these on your wrist. And the price right now is pretty fair. Okay, you're going to be able to do this for, I don't know how much, under 10. Somewhere under 10. It's one of the ones that didn't inflate too much, because the ladies, they like to wear 36s nowadays, and the 36s are around $14,000 for something like this. Okay, the one that's being produced now, the 40, is around $37,500, something around there, 37.5. 38, you know, you could get away with it for cheap. Some people call me up and they say, oh, I get it at an official dealer, 34,000 or less, or this or that. You got to grab it. I'm not going to tell you to call me and buy only for me and this and that. If you could get these cheaper, I'm giving you the rough market value. This is what this is. In September 2020, if you get this Sky-Dweller, that I say is $58,000, and you could get it for $51,000, that's a good buy, and you could make some money on it. And you could get it somewhere, somehow, this chocolate Sky-Dweller, discontinued joint. But, you know, they're out there. So that's what's happening in the wonderful world of Rolex Presidentials. The 41s, the different faces, the different colors, whatever it is. Ice them out or don't ice them out, that's up to you. Are you rich? Are you poor? Are you conscious of money, capital? Are you playing the game? Are you playing the game is the question. I am. I'm doing a lot of different things to maneuver around the watch industry or so on and so forth. Maybe I'll show you. I love collecting the old school Jubilee bands, you know, the entry-level models that people want to jump in on. Great Rolexes for great prices that are going to hold their value for a long time. Just take care of them. Don't beat them up. Don't destroy them. But they're older models, older pieces, but you know, $7,000, $7,500 with a bezel and a diamond dial, a Rolex watch on your wrist in pretty good condition. That's going to be a good asset for you to own. Is right here, all available at TraxNYC. You could reach out to, oh goodness, you could reach out to one of our elite staff members. They're going to be tagged in the Instagram video or on YouTube. We'll leave a phone number or some instructions if you want to purchase on any of these timepieces. But shop TraxNYC.com or visit us in the Diamond District, and keep your eyes open, because a game is being played out. And if you're the type of audience member, there's different types of people watching this. There's the ones that don't know shit and don't want to know shit. There's the guy that, you know, frequently comments, Rollies don't TikTok. It's because you heard it in a Jay-Z song in 1996. You got to step your game up, brother. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be way more that you should know about these timepieces than that they don't TikTok. Okay? So you got this watch. Do you see the second hand? If someone even has the nerve to say that these are fake, you're an insect. But before I go on, the second hand is not moving, correct? That's because these watches are sitting in a showcase. They're not wound up. So now we're going to wind it up as it would on a wrist with wear and And now the second hand is starting to go, but it sweeps. It sweeps, but it still ticks a little. It doesn't just roll across, but it doesn't tick like some Timex where, you know, the second hand jostles like this. It kind of goes like this. That's what they do, okay? So just to show you, you gotta wind these up a little bit more than this. I don't want you to fucking talk shit in these comments. It's not ticking, it's not this, it's not that. Just look with your own eyes. I'm taking my time to show you what's going on. So, you want to get in the game, this is what it is. Beyond Rolexes and things like that, the amount of capital that's out there, the rich are going to be way richer, and they're going to be able to buy out assets. Even if it's a Rolex watch, if you're trying to get a steak dinner and you have to compete against millionaires and billionaires for it, and the other class of society, it's not fair. So you got to be ready and you got to be careful. What's the solution? Well, the simple solution is to tax the rich very high and make sure that you could compete with them properly, because the thing is askew. But no one's going to do that, or that's my opinion, or socialism, schmocialism, whatever you want. This is a reality of it. You're in the game. You have to play it well. And if you were shopping for some rollies and shopping for some assets, make sure you do it the smart way, the right way. And when you're rich, ice it out. How's that?